Hey, Podcast America. Welcome to episode 123 of the Enlightened Neanderthals, brought to you by my company, Training Northwest, which you can find at trainingnorthwestllc.com. Christy just helped me update the website recently, so there are some changes there. We have all the information for the Warriors Garden, which is the replacement for Rifleman Camp. That's happening August 8th. In Granite Falls, Washington. You can find more information on the website and also information about our grounded sessions with Christy and I, teaching you to manage your internal environment and how we cannot change your problems, but we can change how you interact with your problems. And then also private range sessions have been popping lately. Everything from like straight up like a 101, like pistol or carbine 101 course to I had a gentleman who listens to the podcast. Shout out to Todd. He came out the other day and he wasn't looking, he's a good shooter. He wasn't looking for instruction. He just had, he had purchased some firearms and some optics and he just wanted a little experienced assistance getting everything set up correctly. And dialed, like zeroed all the optics. He has like a nice precision rifle. We got that sort of set up for his body. Like, you know what I mean? Everybody's body is a little bit different. So your scope setup, your length of pull, your cheek piece, all of that's a little different based on you. So helped get him kind of a baseline, and that stuff is forever changing anyway. But you got to find like a good, comfortable spot to start. And so we worked through all of that for his private session. So the sky's the limit with what we can do, and it's you doing your private session because I'm just there to assist you in whatever your goal is. So that's been a lot of fun.
Well, and I've started my own company. I'm giving out back rubs on the corner of 123rd and 84th.
And listen,
if you want to reach your maximum
you could pay for those with a credit card, but if you give a little wink as you walk in and maybe flash a little cash, I'm here to tell you blowjobs are on the table.
A lot of good customer reviews.
Just
put that right out on the table.
Yeah.
That's what I'm doing.
What do we talk about today, Mike? Oh, hang on a minute. Homes by Maya.
Nice.
The sweetest
good recovery.
And kindest realtor in all of Washington State, I think. You can find her on Instagram at Homes by Maya. That's Maya with a M-A-Y-Y-A, M-A-Y-Y-A, all one word, Homes by Maya.
Maya. If
you're in the housing market in Snohomish County, give her a cruise on the internet.
Maybe we need to develop a slogan for her. Like, if it's like, I want to break through in the housing market. It's like, I want to punch through, kick, hi-ya. Hiya by Maya.
Oh, my God.
Right?
Does anybody else want to hire us for marketing?
We also do jingles.
You got to get one of those, what's that harp thing that looks like a hockey puck? You know?
Oh, yeah. Hiya by Maya is now copywritten. Let it be known. Oh, no. Don't get any ideas.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Oh, God. So,
so what's the episode about?
This was Dr. Professor's.
This was, I wanted to do COVID, but we had our buddy Joe
his
Ken.
thesis statement.
I don't know. I feel like it's about being lied to in us waking up.
I got super confused.
Yeah, welcome to my life. But I just keep walking around in that haze, and eventually it leads somewhere. But I think this is us being confused. Enough time of fucking lying and fucking tomfoolery and just
Maybe that's the honesty in the whole situation, is that nobody really fucking knows we're all confused. And that's the truth of it.
Yeah.
We are all fucking confused.
Maybe that's what it takes for people to recognize is just, what the fuck?
Yeah. All right. All right. Bring your compasses because you might get lost in the weeds.
Oh, yeah.
Giddy up, motherfucker.
Boom.
All right. I'm happy to be here.
Oh, are you?
Mike Long COVID Kozak.
Back to the dojo.
Back to the
Have
dojo.
you noticed the lack of dust on the kettlebells or the bench press or the recently used ball and or stretch bands?
I did notice that you prearranged weights on the bar to make it look as though you had been doing something. I did notice the bong is dust free.
I mean, it's about consistency daily.
Yeah.
That is, that's how you build. And I'm building everywhere, dude.
Look at your boy, dude. These gains.
Dude,
I can see these gains.
Dude, I'm at 205
Are
right
you really?
now. I am a thick motherfucker just lifting
I'm trying
heavy.
so hard to get weight back.
I am not.
It's not happening.
It's coming left and right.
I'm eating so much and I can't gain a pound.
Fuck. I'm eating so little, and it's just like everything we have, let's stick on this thigh. Dude. But in a little bit of a way, I've kind of not cared as much about diet. Like all I care about right now is strong. Heavy. Okay. Just lifting. Because everyone in our gym, I've been going again. And it's like, dude, 220 is probably like the average. Yeah. And it's like, I think I look good at 170. I can handle 180. Yeah. And it's like 190. It's like we're kind of throwing caution to the wind, but it's like, let's throw caution to the wind and heavy iron, bro. Yeah. And a Swayze hairdo in 1987.
All the ice cream.
Yeah, dude. The ice cream's getting thick, but I can't stop caring about weight. And it's like, dude, I'm getting thick, boy.
Beefcake, huh?
Dude.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
Well,
this is where I get diabetes. It's just the release in this episode. Yeah. I'm like, look how thick I am. My pancreas.
Well, what else? I mean, other than the obvious.
I want to talk about
the Middle
COVID.
East is on fire. You want to talk about COVID?
Yeah. That's remember I texted you?
Yeah, you did. I didn't like the idea.
But I think welcome to most of my life. Yeah. Fuck that idea. But I do think there's a lot of parallels in getting you used to extremes. And I'm not that guy that they're like, oh, they're locking us down for conditioning. But I'm just saying, when your life is you're used to.
Are we talking like 2021 right now?
2020.
Okay.
Right in the throes. But even to right now, like with this Joe Kent thing, it's like everyone says it constantly feels like it's building. It's more intense. Like people say, oh, I have to get off the news because it just constantly feels like something worse is happening. But like having an event like COVID, like something so dramatic that it was like, oh, life is put on halt. You can't work. You're going to kill grandma if you fucking breathe. Stop breathing, you know? But
remember people hugging each other through shower curtains and shit?
Oh, dude, that's how I get off.
Retarded.
Yeah. What do you mean remember?
Yeah.
But that just
Danielle's crying in the living room right now.
Do it through the hole in the sheet. We're Jewish. Yeah. Okay. But that intensity of that COVID, like that shock it had on everyone, especially if you're a family with kids and little Timmy and Susan don't go to school for 2 years.
Oh my God.
You know, but that's what I mean. It's like, okay, so you start with a super heavy thing like that. Then you get like a Joe Kent where it's like, oh, this is our director of counterterrorism or something like that, right? And it's like, he saw the writing on the wall. This whole Iran thing isn't good. He's been preaching it for a long time, and he gets fired, and it's like, you immediately see a media cover-up saying it's like, oh, he could have been giving away secrets, or his wife runs a far-left outlet.
Yeah, it's very Soviet. Like this is
the
clearly
cover-up.
Yeah,
but we need an exit strategy as.
No, I don't mean
team.
the cover-up. I mean the political persecution. Like yesterday, you were on our team. You resigned and publicly shamed us, and so now we're gonna, create charges and say we've been investigating you and slander you. And potentially put you in jail.
But that's what I mean. Don't you think...
That is very Soviet.
Don't you think that this should have received more, like in our community or the people we know, or, it's received some attention, not a ton like on the news where it's like,
I think everybody has whiplash. Like,
but that's what I mean.
It's getting every day is
COVID was
so much more
so intense that it's easy to keep steamrolling.
But then even from the entire Biden administration was intense because that was such a shit show. And then there was like a few months of calm after Trump took office, and then his shit show really caught on fire, which is
still going. Some might say,
which is still ablaze as we speak.
Yeah, but it would, like, having something so intense where it keeps you at home. Like, the only reason you normally stay at home in life is because you call in sick.
Oh,
right?
I beg to differ, buddy. let me tell you about the good life. I just call in forever.
But I mean, most people, and to a point where you're calling in for months, you're working from home, it's changing the dynamic. Right? So something that infers so personally that when things that do have big impact, like such as a representative or the leader of the fucking anti-terrorist thing saying, hey, maybe this war shouldn't be happening, and maybe we're being provoked by another country that we give tons of money and aid towards already. Why are we entering into another forever war? But then they're like, you shut your mouth. You're selling information. You're like, well, I still get to go to work. My kids still get to go to school. What I'm saying is the impact of COVID, it was kind of a condition. Like, I wanted to talk about COVID because I think about it quite a bit. Over there just like crying in the corner. Yeah. But I do think about it, and like, like I said, I'm not the conspiracy guy, but I do feel like it is a metric of which your nation can say, like, what are my people willing to do?
Yeah,
and you got to
like
see people. Where's the line? And you got to see states and different. Like, it was a real time. Like, I'm not mad at it. It was the biodome of like states, right, And it's like, okay, so what do you believe in? And some places are like, we believe in the science and just everything medical is vaccine and wear 7 masks. But then you saw other states that are like, hey, we believe in some of the science, but we believe in freedom and rights, and kind of more of a Texas and Florida. Yeah. But it was a real life kind of, you got to see what happened. But in still doing so, it did put everyone on edge. And I do feel like it makes it so these moments are either more impactful or less impactful, depending on the tribe or the group around which you're from. Because you could take a Joe Kent thing and it'd be more impactful because you could be like, oh, once again, it's another liberty or freedom, or it's a canary in the coal mine, someone, a whistleblower. This is what we wanted, right? Obama said he's a whistleblower guy. But like, as soon as someone blows a whistle, the system,
they're drowned,
and so it calls it back. I don't know, but I feel so one person would be like, holy shit, we should be more alarmed. But then the other person is like, oh, we should go with the narrative. We should go with the conditioning. We got out of COVID. Fear. Is it fear? Yes. Or is it, I guess it's fear of one's own personal like life though,
it's fear
and dictation.
Of the unknown. And so there's false safety in believing the narrative. Because it's a lazy decision of, I don't know what's going on. I feel frightened. Oh, here CNN is telling me what to believe. Okay, this is safe. Now I feel safe because someone has told me what to think, and if I just follow these directions, I'll be safe.
Yeah.
Even if their subconscious is like, dude, that's some bullshit.
Yeah. I ride an airplane, and if I take my mask down between bites of food,
so
I'm going to be
really
safe.
What it was, they panicked the population, then played on their fear. It's pretty simple. Like they stampeded, fear, but then they stampeded the herd, and then then it was easy to get the bulk of the herd to run off the cliff.
But I think what you're missing is like, okay, so COVID was a traumatic event. It was a rape. It was a car accident. It was something real fucked up where something bad happened, and then. Now we're just living life, and we never addressed what COVID was or what happened through
because
it.
So many people were victims of the deception. They don't want to talk about it.
So now
people do not want to talk about the event where they were deceived.
The trauma.
Yeah.
So now we're living with unaddressed trauma. And that's what I mean. I feel like it makes it so these events happen where it's like, oh, dude, you could be starting World War III. And they're like, yeah, pipe down, you little fucking traitor.
Or even are they? Is it all AI fake videos so they can raise the price of gas to $7 a gallon?
I still think the world's happening.
Agenda 2030 requires putting you into a heavily restricted state of travel. And one of the ways to do that is by restricting fuel.
I agree.
It also requires cutting basically the energy availability of the average citizen, which again, if the largest like liquid natural gas field in all of the world is on fire in Qatar, that's another great way to restrict energy, especially to rural areas.
Yeah. Well, yes. I don't disagree with everything you're saying there. But I do feel that other countries want to be us. If we're willing to put up such a fight, why? It's because this decadence of life or this style is worth fighting for being in control. So other countries do want that number one position. We haven't globally arrived at an ideology where it's like, oh, we're all in this together. It's like, I'm going to go rush the White House and stop the commands from being sent to bomb the, So it's like
those commands don't come from the White House. that's a
somewhere deep in the heart of
that's
Israel.
A marionette theater, is what the White House is.
But I would imagine that in doing that, like other places want to be us. So there are people in this world that, like, just as crazy as we are, they're like, I will counter you because I want to be you. So that this has to be happening. Just it seems like the way in which it is happening is completely out of the zeit or like the wants of the actual people in most areas. What you're seeing is a narrative or the system
I do
living
like
on.
that the average person now feels like the not conspiracy theorist types are seeing that the government has sort of run away with like drunk with power and not paying attention to us at all.
Yeah.
They don't give a fuck what the people think.
Yeah. Well, and that's kind of why I want to talk about COVID too, is it's like you look at, you see commercials all the time for boosters or the flu shots and all this stuff, but you look at polling, and they're like 3 out of 5 people in the United States are not getting a COVID or a flu or anything vaccine. Yeah. Right? And so what does that mean?
Did you see the poll today? 100% of MAGA approve of Trump's performance as president.
Yeah.
It's like, who the fuck? Yeah. Do people read this and be like, oh my God, I can't believe it? Like, is that shocking, Mike?
90% of ice is cold.
Yeah.
You're like, whoa.
What? All right, cool.
Yeah. But
yeah, no, they were like touting that on CNN and like all the like, I guess, like traditional media outlets, Fox and blah blah blah, that amongst MAGA, Trump rates 100%.
Well,
good job, guys.
Even that, I feel
that concludes my report for Statistics 101.
Even that, I feel like, is fake news because there's so many people that are MAGA. I mean, our boy, Mr. Trump Dog, ran on no new wars.
I know, but that's what I'm saying is like there is a cohort of people who are MAGA to the bone who are still supporting him.
But that's what
and it's like, yeah, no shit. That's the whole point. Like, of course, 100% of MAGA,
but even that
supports Trump. But there's a whole bunch of us in the middle who voted for him based on what he promised.
I didn't vote for
his
him.
Campaign promises were great.
Yeah.
But he's not delivered. He's literally going 180 degrees of all of his campaign promises.
Oh, yeah. Well, he's going to make a hotel at the Gaza Strip and a golf course in Israel.
He's going to, well, you know what I actually think is going on is I think he's crashing the dollar. It's burning down in real time right now. And Japan announced today that they will be buying oil directly from is it? I don't know if it's Saudi. I can't remember which country.
Russia?
Oh, you're right. From Russia in Chinese yen.
Nice.
which means the petrodollar just took a direct hit.
Wow, it already has.
Yeah.
But we're oil independent, aren't we?
If we start fracking again.
I mean, but we're not a huge importer since Trump Dog. We've been making our own and exporting.
I don't know about crude oil. Liquid, like natural
LPG
gas.
and-
LPG and LNG, I think we produce a shit ton of if we're fracking. I'm not sure about gas like petrol, like whatever crude
Car
oil, I
gas,
guess, that you need to
premium.
make. Yeah, that you need to
Yeah.
make car gas.
Diesel and car gas. I don't know. Sorry, I got derailed with car
No, you're
gas
good.
and thinking.
You know, it's funny. Okay, so change the subject a little bit, which go figure. I've listened to a couple of our episodes recently, which I haven't done in a long fucking time. You and I are like artists of the pothole.
Yeah, welcome to my
Sometimes we don't even know we fall into them.
Yeah.
And you just like, I was listening to the show over the last week and I was like, what the fuck? We didn't even miss a beat. We changed the subject. Like we were talking about this the whole time. And then at some point we'll bring it full circle back around and get right back where we left off. But it's like,
Welcome to the art of cursive.
I'm proud of us, Mike.
Yeah, but that's what it is because I do inherent. The older I get, it's not like I'm like Jesus is this or this is that. But there certain things will be like if you see it in one thing, you see it in everything. And I think that's a huge part about conversation. Like you could take evolution.
Listen, many people see Jesus in me, Mike.
Yeah, but you could take anything.
You can just come out right and say it. You don't have to like tiptoe around.
But you can take anything like evolution or war and you can compare it to like the COVID thing and what we're talking about in government. Like there are parallels or even jujitsu gets woven into things. But something I've gone through is like there are parallels throughout life. And like maybe because we're people and we're pattern recognition things like, oh, we think this has importance. But the things I feel that have the most importance about talking about are kind of like what light you up where you see connections or parallels. I mean, that's, I think, what has driven man to create everything or any new invention is like off a hunch of a fucking a muse or a whim or something.
Yeah.
But, and that's so like you talk about those conversations. Yeah, we're talking about like, yes, it's one thing now and in 5 minutes it'll be different, but they all kind of have the same background or like, I don't know, the base, like the pudding it comes from is all kind of the same.
The base. It's
Yeah.
philosophy with some retarded jokes.
Yeah, you can have a few sprinkles over here, but the base.
You can say cunts if you want to.
But I do think that a lot, and I think that's why it's important for us to talk about World War II. But
God.
I feel like it's like that's a great thing, just as a metric of World War I. And we constantly say World War III or apocalypse, but it's like, well, there must have been incantations or like ideas or like things people kept hitting on that were talking about the same thing. There are roads that lead down to chaos and disaster. So some of this, it is important to air it out and figure it out because there are connections of, yeah, I mean, come on, we're talking about wars that are happening and officials being like outed and smear campaigns. It's like, come on. Isn't that every
This fucking
coup?
movie is crazy.
Yeah.
This movie is fucking wild.
That's every coup. But once again, we were lucky enough to go through COVID during this, like, this dry run. Because not only was it a dry run for governments or control to say, hey, what will people do? It was also a moment for people to say, hey, in moments of peril, what is my government and how did they perform?
Yeah.
And so many,
Terribly.
but that's what I mean.
Yeah.
So it's like
How
so
many
many
times
people.
is the federal government
Yeah.
going to shit the bed before we...
But that,
Like
and
if this,
so
was,
it goes back to,
if this was Netflix, I would cancel my subscription.
yeah, it's
You know
been
what I mean?
over.
You know what I mean? Like how long until people are... Like I'm already on board with the tax strike.
So, but that's what
How long, how many people, like again, we're back to fear. People pay their taxes out of fear. How long until people are like, okay, motherfuckers, I'm just done. So
Yeah.
I'm there. I just wonder how many other people are there. Nobody wants to say, like, I don't mind saying it out loud. I'm not paying my taxes anymore. But most people don't want to say that, and they don't want to, like, that's a lot. Like, we are so conditioned to follow the rules and not, like, certain boundaries you don't cross. And that's one of those ones that just scares the fuck out of people.
Yeah. Well, because that's the quickest way to have repercussions.
Yeah.
No one wants
they can put liens on your accounts. They can fucking seize your bank accounts. They can garnish your wages. Like, I guess all these, I guess I get frustrated because I see a lot of patriotic talk and bluster on social media and on the back windshield of their fucking pickup truck with their "Don't Tread on Me" stickers. And it's like, all right, then do it.
But I think most people have the idea of fighting is fighting. Like, the way the government can fight.
If you're too afraid to do nothing, which literally not paying your taxes requires you to do nothing. So it's a peaceful protest.
Easy.
You're going to show up for the gunfight?
Yeah.
Fuck no, you're not.
But that's what they think the power is. Like, that's why you see the Army commercials or the Marines. And
I got a feeling that before the Battle of the Bridge on Concord that kicked off the American Revolution, a lot of people had said, fuck it, I'm not paying taxes anymore.
Yeah. But that's something
this idea that you're going to wait, the boogaloo, you're going to wait till it all goes down and then you'll get off the couch. Okay, fella.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now.
Yeah.
But I think that's what a lot of people think is, like, I don't know, a lot of revolution is, like, as much as I hate the protests we had of the BLM and stuff, it was people actually getting off the couch and burning a police sanction.
They were paid activists. Like, that part's been proved.
Maybe some of them, but I guarantee you there is a lot of people out there that's like, oh, fucking burn it all down, make shit happen at least, you know? I think that's part of, you get these people that they're like, oh, fight it, and fighting means I have an enemy. But war is, what is it, the fog of war? There's a fog of war when you know exactly who your enemy is. When, like, your enemy is like, oh, we're going to slowly stifle you and choke you through finance and taxes and, like, this bond, and now you need a lawyer. And you're like, wait, now you're coming at me from this angle.
Yeah, but it's all fear.
But I think that's something that's meant to be, like, you know, they say the bread and circus for the people to keep them distracted, but bread and circus
even as
of
we're sitting here saying
politics
this,
and
being involved, like, the real answer is to exit the game. And I don't mean like you can't physically leave the earth. So by exiting the game, I just mean refusing.
Well, you can.
I mean refusing to play by the rules.
Yeah.
So like things like not paying your taxes, that is an example of I'm not participating in your game.
But
and not, you know what I mean? Like, I follow the rules only to the extent that it complies with morality, and in that sense, I have exited the game.
Yeah.
And so for as long as you continue to, you know, chew your fingernails that the IRS is going to come after you, then you're inside the game.
You are, but I mean,
it's in your mind because the rules exist. Like, where are the rules? Touch them. They're all in your mind, right?
Exactly. But I do think there are things about society and having a little bit of structure. And I say this every time. How do I want to be governed? And it's like, I do like that there can be, like, certain baseline rules, and it helps with sanitation and the flow of energy and water. But then it also allows for things to exist, like a Boeing, to make planes, to make certain things. Right?
I used to agree with that. I don't anymore. I think it exists for one reason only, and that's to leech off of people.
But it's way harder to create an airplane when you have no safety of police, when you have no consistent power.
I think people find ways to solve all those problems, and I don't know that government is the best.
But then
this is
But then once again,
a parasitic entity, Mike.
But then once again, it's like, okay, so
its nature is parasitic.
But if it solves itself, it's like, oh, then here's a group of people, and
you've also grown up in a system that conditioned. You have been conditioned since childhood to believe that, like you were taught in school, that the government creates the framework under which all these things can happen. So you are regurgitating like fifth grade civil or social studies.
Think about hunting. Like, think about if you go hunting it's like, okay, you're off on your own on this tent in a mountain. And it's like, okay, for the most part, you're probably safe. But in your head, you still have to run water, right? You need hydration. You need these functions. You have to run a little bit of safety. Oh, if there's a cougar out there, he's not going to get past my fucking tripwire.
I hope she does.
Holy shit, bang, bang. But you have to run food, cooking, electronics. So that's kind of a form of power. So, like, to think of, like, if you lived your daily life where you worked a 9 to 5 or you had a job or something, you even fixing cars or, like,
this is while I'm out in a tent in the mountains?
Yeah. But, like, think of life was like camping. There's not enough time in the day to constantly give to water purification, to power infrastructure, to fucking all these things that, like, we could break it down to camping.
Who told you needed all these services?
No, but I mean, but that's what I mean. If you want to make a plane,
I've been to deer camp and it was pretty fucking relaxing.
But if you want to make a plane, it's probably not going to happen in a deer camp. If you want to make a cell phone, it's not going to happen in a deer camp. You need allocation of resources and basics of safety. And
no, you do not. You do not need a government to help you with that. You need motivated people who, like, a guy who wants to build an airplane will find a guy who likes tinkering with engines, and they'll find a guy who likes engineering aerodynamics. Those, like, when you vibrate at those, like, you attract what you are running yourself. You don't need this overarching system that's sucking off of you.
But then to
tell you that it tells you that it's providing you safety. Where is it? It's not providing safety at all. Our streets are as dirty and fucking unsafe as they've ever been.
But I think then to give it to the world,
our healthcare, like, you can't afford to go. Yeah, there's an emergency room, but you're going to go financially fucking wrecked if you have to go there. We're not being provided with shit, dude. We are being provided with parasites.
Dude. Yeah. Dude, I broke my arm and I got a sex change operation all for free. Immigrant status.
Yeah, no shit. And you opened a daycare.
Yeah. Dude, I'm rolling in it.
Yeah.
No, but I think then to disseminate whatever you create to the rest of the world, you're going to need some of those services, because it's like if you started creating these planes, people will recognize it. It's like you're going to either sell them to the area around you or all throughout the world. That's what I mean. We're not on this. We're all in it together. It's like, yeah, we're people, but every country's its own kind of thing, and it's not a grassroots movement yet. But in saying that, like, if you created a plane, you'd want to give it to the world. And so it's like, okay, so you're making big money. You're probably going to need production in area, and you're going to have materials. Well, even living in Seattle, I have a lot of buddies that do construction, and seeing the degradation of Seattle over the years, the more of their shit that gets stolen from their job sites is a direct correlation of bad policy and bad policing and stuff like that. And so the bigger you get, too, the more people are going to recognize how much money or product or stuff's coming through your area, so they want to rip you off more. The more you can have a homogenous society where people are actually working for the cause or the betterment, like the ant colony, in a way to make sure everything works independently well, that means it's going to, the whole system. That's why an ant colony does well in certain ways. Yes, everyone has their own individual morality or thoughts.
Hey, have you ever noticed that an ant, like, I don't know what the fuck you're talking about, but have you ever, in an ant colony, there is no government. There's a queen.
There's a natural order, which is the government.
No, it is not. Our government is not the natural order. There is nothing fucking natural
it's
about
not
our
the
government.
No, it can be rewritten.
And
better.
ants and bees are proof that social creatures and or hive creatures follow natural order. In our case, like, we are a little bit more advanced, more coherent, or more higher level coherent species.
Yeah.
So our natural order is morality.
Yeah.
In the like, left to our own devices, we will follow our own morality.
Yeah.
Just like ants follow their natural order. And they don't need, imagine if ants had a government sucking 60% of their fucking food and do it. Like, imagine if there was a whole, like the ant colony was the largest employer, or the government of the ant colony was bigger than the ant colony itself. And it's just sitting over there sucking off the ants that are actually working.
Yeah.
That ant colony isn't going to last very long. That's why our country is crumbling right now.
But I do think there are certain things that lean towards like storytelling and morals, just the same way as like where we come from, everyone looks for the Bible, for God, for answers, right? So I do think they're like, you look at, and I think things that mimic the natural order of the world. I do think a free market mimics evolution through having pressure set upon it, and now it learns to survive. I really do think there are parallels between evolution and free market that can be seen. In that same way, I think that you can take things like if you take the way that the government works, right? Like, so I'm a capitalist society and open to things for the free market to work. It works much better than if you have a communist where someone's saying, no, I'm inputting and I'm fucking creating a false narrative or inflating the market. I think capitalism works far better than a communist or a dictatorial society because it represents much more of an evolutionary, like the best shall win, right? And so when you're doing that, I think what you're seeing is you're seeing ideas free market of capitalism. America has the best there's ever been. We've given more money and more aid over the course of our existence. You look at history and it's like, there's not a lot of Americas. What America really is and did is great, right? And I think that what we're seeing is just the same as evolution. There's ideas being brought up and, we're figuring this out. We're not at the top yet. We've had a great trajectory over the last couple hundred years compared to the last thousands of years for history, if you truly analyze it. But I think this is that awakening. We're going through our fucking our naughty phase, our teen years. And but I do think maybe. Like I wanted to say, like COVID is something. It makes you reflect and what did my government truly do for me? And like I said earlier about like those vax like statistics, like 3 out of 5 Americans aren't getting vaccines for a whole bunch of stuff. And why is that? Because they don't believe their country or their narrative, their government's telling them is true. Joe Kent just got fired because he thought this was a shady war, which Israel wanted us into, which it looks like all around, right? And it's the same thing. Americans are like, oh, we're getting this narrative that he was a traitor. But remember COVID? Remember this? Remember the endless wars? And so it's like, I feel like this is just part of a growing pain of us, of culture, of America.
Yeah, I guess the question is, now that we all recognize it, do we tolerate it and let it continue?
I think the toleration's getting less and less. Like, I want more transparency with Epstein. I said I wanted no wars, and now I don't want any more wars. Like, it's a nerve, right? Like, in a nerve, you can stimulate to a certain point, but at what point do you hit that threshold that nerve fires in response? I think I've said this before, we're the slow powder keg. This is a slow boil. But all of this stuff we have to have happen. If this didn't happen, if COVID didn't happen, if maybe...
Yeah, COVID pulled the veil back so we could all see.
Yeah, maybe we wouldn't even be close to these conversations. It'd be something else. Yeah. And we're way further from maybe an endpoint that we think is more prosperous or like not just for us, but for the world. COVID.
Yeah, or maybe World War III is an external reflection of a bunch of people sort of burning down the old empire internally.
Like it would have to only burn, like the only way it could go down is that it looked horrible. Like if it kind of burned down and it was like, they still made a lot of good points, people might rehash it or be like, oh, remember the glory of 1985. But if you're like, oh, look at what the system completely did, there has to be a full reset. And that's why I think it is important that we did go through COVID and we look back at these things, especially, I'll talk all day about certain vaccine things that I think are a real problem, but it was a moment that everyone went through. And that's a hard thing to have. Like, I remember I talked to Greg a long time ago, and it's like, remember how nice everyone was after 9/11? And it's like, how do you get everyone back there to 9/12 where we're all on the same team? But maybe we did it and we didn't even realize. Going through an event like COVID, it's like, yeah, we all went through the Twin Towers, but some people were more affected than others. Some people had family and it died and it really hit. But the whole world was affected with kids can't go to school. Now you're stuck with all your little fuckers. But it also was like work got changed, money got changed, everything. Everyone anyone that existed, unless you're living in teepee, but probably even then, you had a direct effect from COVID. And it was a national, we all went through it together. It was our angst. It was our teen years. We went through that trial. But now we're constantly feeling like, this feels deceitful. Remember when we all got lied to together? And we're like, that feels like shit?
Yeah.
Well, this feels like shit. And this feels like shit. Maybe that's what you need to get your troops a little fucking rallied.
Yeah.
Mike Kozak, 2030. I don't know, because I look at this Joe Kent thing. Like I said, it is weird because he called it and it's like, well, so what are you doing? Are you just trying to, they want to say he gave information away and his wife's like a Democratic donator to some publication, but it's like, also you're just giving a cover story. The thing that it's like when they're like, fucking all these people keep taking the jab and they have heart attacks and they're like, that's fucking hoo-ha. No one's getting heart attacks. Like, we're going to fire this guy for spreading heart attack misinformation, and then everyone dies around you of heart attacks. That exact same thing is happening with this Israel thing, where he's like, it seems like Israel wanted us to go into us, and it seems like Israel wanted to take out all these people, and this guy's saying Israel is the problem, and now we're getting blamed for this Israel thing, and he's like, call them anti-Semites. It's the same exact play. So I feel like our people, we're getting good at being lied to, which is not necessarily a bad thing, because it makes our bullshit detector constantly be like, oh, this. And imagine being in Russia during like Chernobyl, and they're like, nah, it's just a minor incident. But you're like, fuck, you guys lie to us all the time. Yeah. And it's like, we should probably take this more serious.
The Russians didn't do anything about it, though. I don't know if the Americans will either.
I think we know, though, that the combination of Russia and China together, Russia has more resources than anyone. It's the biggest land area. It has the most oil, timber, minerals, you name it. You combine that with China. I think the United States knows that having a Russia-China super homogenous relationship is not the best thing for the United States for production or world player. But it seems like we keep pushing those guys closer and closer together. Maybe it is just all has. Maybe, like I said, like the COVID stuff. And you're like, God, you guys are retarded. Maybe they're just so retarded they push us into the complete brink of disaster. Like, oh, we don't want China, Russia, but we force their hand. Hey, you know that guy you buy all your gas from? We're gonna give him a black eye. You're like, wait, what?
I don't know how to follow that. You lost me, buddy.
It's just too many questions. That's our problem. Maybe that's not our problem. Maybe that's our answer. My whole problem is I always say, oh, the question is the answer. I'm like a super confused Yoda.
Yeah. I'm also very confused. Maybe we should take a break and have some enhancements.
Let's get more confused again.
Try again at cruising altitude.
This is China's fault.
Tighten up.
Boom.
Cruising altitude.
Cruising out, dude. So now we're really focused.
Now we're laser,
on point.
laser honed in.
All right,
We can begin the podcast.
Here's something I think about all the time. Do you think we're shaping the world or the world shaping us?
I used to think the world is shaping us, but I'm starting to get more and more convinced the other way around. Like I kind of alluded to earlier that this is external projection. Like I do believe that all of the positive changes in my life over the last 2 years have been external projection of internal change. And
so I think
if you think about it, like the reality that you are experiencing is your interpretation of your sensory experience.
Yeah. True. But other things
you're not actually like experiencing any of this on the outside. It's an internal interpretation
but it goes back
of electrical signals from your sensory organs.
But it goes back to Buddhist in a concentration camp. Like, yes, you can be enlightened and all that, but when you're living in a concentration camp of the Nazis,
yeah, that's true.
That is influencing your external. Like whatever that is in the matrix, it's uploading a virus in your email.
Maybe that's why we know it's so heinous, is because it's such a...
But maybe it should be able to go back and forth. Maybe that's how the system works. To enter one realm, you have to have effect on another realm, right? To go into the upside down, you have to affect it. So it's like, if you get a slug on your log, it's going to make your internal, like maybe you're like, ew. Got a little bit of a slug, and now
flick it off.
Yeah, but it lives in there. But the other way that it's like, I could go and kick this slug off my log, right? It changes your internal thought process, but it also changes your physical reality. And I do think the two play off each other. And that's why I do think it is interesting thinking of the world having, like, yes, you have these little microbes that influence you heavily, but you also are the reason these microbes exist, right? And so as these microbes get more and more and they develop weird consciousness and like ability to alter the environment around them, I do think that gives you precipice for like more power, right? Because if you just if you released a volcano or something and all those things died, it'd probably just be a volcano rock for a long time. But to have people like, we're going to send out missiles to stop asteroids from hitting you. You'd normally be destroyed 5,000 years ago, but we prolonged your life. And like, we changed you. Like that's DNA. The planet will change as people change it. But I think both of them are kind of symbiotic. And I do think like I always think maybe this is how it's supposed to go. Like the Fermi's paradox, if life is so abundant on Earth, why have we not seen aliens? And there's all kinds of things like technologies and but technologies get so advanced that they develop technologies and weapons and they all kill themselves. So it's a natural tendency for
or maybe they're just standing back like, Jesus Christ, look at these motherfuckers.
Or you develop and you go inward.
They're still shooting missiles at their own kind.
Yeah.
Why the fuck do we want to go down there and mess with them?
Or it's like you don't touch, or it's like people they figure out quantum and they're like, life isn't about this, it's about going inward. So digital, that's why there's such a push for digital and trying to do transformation of mind to computer is that you can live in that quantum forever. So there's all these ideas of like, why wouldn't we see blatant connection with foreign intelligence if life is so abundant around us, right? And I do think part of what like we're going through, or what you have to go through during that, is like society's like one of those ideas that like if you develop technologies, you use them against each other. And it's like, I do feel like that's a fucking conundrum we're playing into. That makes sense, like, to see how we've gone from armor and crossbows and, to where we are now with drones. And it's like, dude, we have the atomic level to blow ourselves over 10 times, Yeah. And it's like, yep, that makes sense in my head why humans are never going to go to AstraZeneca, or you know what I mean? But it makes 100% why we'd never do it. But in recognizing it, it makes me be like, ooh, that's how you avoid something, right? That's a fight, and someone just threw a hook. And what am I going to do? I'm going to stand here? No, I'm going to fucking put my arm up and parry it, right? That's us being able to recognize this isn't good. War culture as a human, as a species, like I said, like this planet changes and it allows us to change. It was a bunch of dinosaurs, but a sweet asteroid hit it and rats took over, and look at us. Here we are. But I think you have to go through those periods. And I think our planet is going through a period of humans being able to manipulate matter, change ecosystem, rob certain parts of it, oceans, some forests, grasslands, how carbon, how footprint. But I feel like that's the purpose of the mother, is to give us a place to have birth into the next, to give us that safe space to grow. That's why you do need a government. You need a mom. You need a structure for someone to be like flourish. And I feel like we're on a precedent.
What if Earth and the nature are the mother?
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Then the government is a parasite.
It is a parasite right now because it's the brother and the sister saying this is how it works.
It's not even that. It's not a sibling. It's a parasite.
But that's what I mean. A true system works without the brother and the sister, because you have so much fear and or respect of the parent that the system continues on.
They're not the
without
parents. They are not the parents.
No, not the brother and sister.
They are the takers.
But
the government is the takers. They're parasitic. They're not part of the family. They don't fulfill a role of family.
But then how do you have cops? You got to have something. You have to have a group. Call them the government.
Think about the Wild West before there were states, right? If a town formed and there was a general store and a saloon and a barber, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, those business owners would raise money amongst themselves privately to hire a marshal.
Yeah, get a posse.
And I think that is a more feasible way, like in line with true humanity, to run a system of control. Where it's like if something is important to you, then you will either do it yourself or you will put some of your own skin in the game to have it done.
Doesn't mean, so the method for the incentive.
I also think the government creates a lot of the problems that it solves, like crime.
Agreed.
Like,
dude, have you?
What I mean? If everybody comes with morality pre-installed, even the murderer, like something broke him somewhere along the way.
Yeah.
But he came pure. Like, we know that. You come pure when you're born. Like, morality is clean. Your soul, like, everything about you is clean.
You're just
untainted.
Untouched,
right. So it's the system, really. Like, Virgin. They start right away. Right? Like, circumcisions and vaccines, like, we could go down a lot of rabbit holes. But they get the kids early.
Neither. Mm-hmm. Pure blood, dude. not to be like, the government's, I mean, this isn't a good point for me to be like, the government's good. There are certain roles. But have you ever heard of I think it's India. Have you heard of the India cobra problem?
No.
So like in India, they have a shit ton of cobras.
Yeah.
And they're like, hey, the government comes out and they're like, if you see a fucking cobra, we'll give you $10 if you kill it and bring in the skin, you know? And then it's like people started bringing in cobras and the government was handing out money. And then these shops set up in India.
Start breeding them.
Yeah, little cobra farms. And they were making so much money. They're like, dude, it was a good day. I got like 1,500 cobras. Yeah. I need like $2 million. And then the government was like, we know what you guys are doing. You got to stop this right now. We're shutting down this program. And so all these cobra breeders just released all their cobras.
Holy shit. Yeah.
And so now there's more cobras like in India than there was before the government started the program. Yeah, but that is exactly what you're talking about. That is the waste and the fraud. And sometimes, yeah, maybe having an idea how to solve something, it has good intent, but it's like it doesn't fix the problem. And that is life. Like this is once again our little spirit planet that's grown us. That is life. A lot of times you do things and you're like, this is going to give me a fucking advantageous outcome. And then you do it and you're like, shit, that worked horribly. But you have to pivot, you know? Yeah. And so
it's not working out. Time to move on to the next thing.
Yeah, you got to keep trying. But I think, I don't know, there is a order, some sort of commonality in order. Like that is something that has to have commonality. Like that's why cultures get better with same culture than opposite cultures, right? You have certain values and commonality. I guess maybe government is enforcing that. Whereas like
anybody telling you what you can and can't do should get fucked.
Well,
because when you
what if I want to have sex with children?
When you begin to hire, bro, the dads of the community should be taking care of that.
Yeah, well, true. Yeah. Yeah.
Step the fuck aside, government. And that problem will get solved real fucking fast.
But then you want accountability. You need transparency. Otherwise, you have a good old boys club. Like part of having the government is I'm supposed to have paperwork.
What?
So say I want to fuck kids and a group of dads comes and they kill me. Mm-hmm. And then like I had a son and he's my long lineage of wanting to fuck kids son. Okay. Right. And so there's now these dads that just go after pedophiles. Right. And now, yes, they're taking care of the pedophiles, but I know nothing about them. This is kind of vigilantism. Right. So I think part of the government, too, is having a paper trail, right? If your tax dollars are going to fund this stuff,
no,
I should be able to see and have records of like you're doing. I mean, shouldn't that be all of the government?
It should, but let's just get rid of it. And I get it. It'll be chaos for a little bit. Don't we want
Doge and all that? Like, we don't want waste of frivolousness.
Nope.
If I'm going to be led, I want to make sure my money isn't being squandered.
Stop paying it.
Like the way I do it.
Stop paying it. Give it directly to the causes you believe in. Don't like the idea that you're going to give it to this central clearinghouse that's then going to use it responsibly. If you want to give money to Children's Hospital, write them a check. If you want to give money to I-5 road maintenance, write them a check.
Yeah. But they help fund things.
No, they don't.
They fund your projects for roads and initiative and levies.
Poorly.
Yeah,
at a fucking F minus level.
No, but that's what I mean. That's how that system's run right now.
That's the only way you can do it. No. Must be the only way.
Yeah. It's not the only way. I do think there has to be a little bit of, like, even if it's like, hey, give 2%, even 1%.
No.
And it
give
makes
to what matters to you. If you're FedEx and it fucking matters to have interstate highways, you might want to write some checks to the interstate highway repair crew.
But then it's like, okay, so then...
And if you're Boeing and you want to fly some fucking airplanes, then you better pay some money to keep the runways kept up.
Well, maybe this is me being a hater when I said I preached the free market and evolution. This is a theory that's been brought up, like having privatized police and fire department and stuff like that. Like, is there a benefit from having a national standard and average and stuff? Or you just have independent
or have
places?
Like neighborhood volunteer departments.
True. But then, yeah, but then you go to war and everyone's got goofy shit on. No one matches.
What?
When you go to war, you want your outfits to pop together. Dude, we are having matching head to toe. Fucking exum breath. I don't know.
Lululemon. What the fuck, Mike?
Don't you okay, so then what about... So I keep saying you need a standard or a commonality. And before we had the commonality or the standard of the man in government, we had religion. You know, religion
Also
was government. Yeah, exactly. Well, duh. But religion was the government. And it's like...
The church was the government.
Yeah, well, religion. But yeah, same thing.
Still are.
This is welcome to cursive.
Fun fact from the pothole. The church still is the government, Mike.
All right, my bad, dude. But they kind of, in the same method, like they recognize people do want structure or leadership, right? And the church did run shit for a long time, and they did it well. Still do.
Say still, Mike.
I mean, from times past to present, they're doing a good job. My bad. But
long live the Pope.
long live the Queen.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it is the same thing. Like human beings do inherently want an order or structure. That's why I do think there is a beneficial thing to having some form of government or order. Like you watch that show Fallout, and it's like they all live under the hills, or like, you know.
Have you read Atlas Shrugged? You need to.
But in the same way, it's like they all have a narrative, like do what you can for society, for America, for the team. And people do, like, if I'm fighting for me, I'm fighting hard. But when I'm fought for other gyms and had a group of people, it's like, oh, I got all you. You do a little bit better.
I wish you guys could see his hand motions just now.
No one was safe.
No.
But I do feel you'll fight better. You have more of a reason because, like you say, you have more skin in the game. When you all have
government
something,
takes all the skin out of the game. It's just this. It's like this faceless.
Yeah, but if
entity
it's
now.
something like COVID, we all went through it. It's our skin in the game. That's so stupid. But it is our skin. It's no one else's. You can only have the experience of being locked in when you are a locked in person. You can't talk to someone that was like, yeah, fucking COVID was horrible. I went to my nightclub every night. You know, you can only have that experience of, oh, I was locked in. And so that citizen, that person, it. What's changing in this is that people normally go through things, I think, like separately, right? Everyone kind of goes through their own life, but we're having so many like mass group events happening, trying to normalize it. doesn't feel normal anymore.
Trying to normalize what?
Like what is happening. Like once again, we get raped, we get all that trauma, what we're going through politically as a country. Like we got raped during 9/11, right? And like I said, we all came together. We tried to address our trauma. 9/12.
Got a 19-year break before COVID.
Yeah.
Actually, no, we got the 2008 bubble popping.
But
then we got COVID in 2020.
But then it's like, okay,
and
so
now we got World War III.
Yeah.
Fucking Trump daddy.
And everyone's going through their own little rape. Like they went through the rape of 9/11, and then it's like, okay, your never-ending wars, and then a group rape that was blatant was COVID, and then it's like different presidents lying, and it's like, nah, Joe's our man, and then it's like the next weekend he's drooling on stage in a debate, and you're like, wait, I thought he was our man, you know?
Yeah.
And you're having it from the other side too. You know, and it's like, dude, make America great again. We just want to get everyone on the same page. No new wars back in the administration. We'll kidnap Maduro and we'll bomb countries with, you know, and it's like, no new. And it's like, it's the same as the drooly guy. So you're getting people so riled up on both sides with just constant blatant bullshit. I feel like what you're seeing is the point. This is it. Like, I'll just...
The riling is the point. I agree. But this is another deep pothole, which is that other dimensional...
Oh, are you going Tucker? Are you going full Christ? This is second coming?
No.
No?
No.
All
right. I'm going like emotional plane when you are in your fight or flight. Like your activated fight or flight because of COVID or because of World War III or because of somebody who posted something on Twitter that you don't like, then the like we all know human beings have like an electromagnetic field, right? Like your heart has an electric signal, all change and amperage creates the electromagnetic field around it. And like you can, it's like a spectrometer. I think you can measure. You can actually visually see the
bubble.
Yeah, the aura that a human being gives off. So when you are in those low vibes, like fear or anger or jealousy or anxiety, you're giving off a signal. And so like we've all walked into a room where a heavy conversation is taking place, and you feel that pressure, and you're like, oh shit. We'll let you guys finish. I'll come back, right? You know that feeling.
Yeah.
So that tells you that you can feel other people's signal.
Yeah. The world's feeling
it.
It.
Exactly. So when that's the evil of like social media and even like legacy media is they're feeding people fear and anxiety all the time. And so people are like, they're going home kids are home from school, mom and dad are home from work, everybody's making dinner and they're watching the news or they're watching or they're staring at their phone screens and they're just fear and anxiety. So even if surface level, they're calm, like their face, their expressions are calm, inside their nervous system is ringing like a little tuning fork going. And what we know about tuning forks is that when they're in close proximity to each other, they seek to harmonize. So if you bring a fucking tuning fork that's buzzing anxiety and fear into your family's living room, then all of their tuning forks are going to start picking up on that frequency and start trying to harmonize into it.
But wouldn't that be a good example of like your external world fucking up your internal world? Because like living
that
in
would be the opposite. That's your internal world fucking up your family.
Living in that world where gas prices are going up and things are tighter and tighter, that has to put a emotional pressure on you for stability, for, you're taking care of others.
But it's like, but then realizing that,
so this
is one of the big, hang on, this is one of the big points. I don't fucking know what that means. One of the big points is that even when the external pressures get ridiculous, which they're about to, you have to you have to maintain an actual internal calm, not a pretend internal calm, a real internal calm, because your fucking people feel it. And so if you are adding to the buzzing of anxiety and fear, then you're part of the problem. And so that's like Christy and I like the grounding workshops, right? We are teaching people how to create actual internal calm, not fake on the surface. Like I'll keep my face straight and my body postured correctly so people believe I'm calm. What you are experiencing on the inside.
But that's what I mean. Like as a nation, we went through that with COVID. Money got tight, rent, there's moratoriums. Like life is money, right? In today's society.
Yeah, because we consensually trade it for our time and energy.
And industries.
The moment, see, that's what I'm saying. You don't like the moment you stop playing the game because the game is one of consent, then you remove your time and energy from the game and they can't draw it from you. They cannot draw it from you. They must have you consent. You must willfully give it to them. No, you are sovereign. Nobody can fucking take it from you.
Yeah.
So through fear and coercion, people give it away.
Don't you feel that gives your backup though completely, like giving no money to the system? Like Germany fell in World War I, but part of building Germany back up was getting industry and money being given to the system to fuel the war machine and the government and everything. But that doesn't happen like getting your feet back on your ground to produce things and goods like Volkswagen and, well, Porsche's way later, but actual goods, gas, probably coal, fucking minerals. I feel like part of that has to be, oh no, it's going to be needed for just basics. Something about just like standards, right? Like, God.
Yeah, who's going to enforce the rules? What if there aren't any rules?
Yeah, but what if someone goes and takes everything, which is fine. I mean, they can get as much as they can get. We'll kill them. Yeah.
They're outside the natural order.
Yeah, but then it just goes back into the chaos regime. Dude, I'm a Star Trek boy. And to be like, if you live in Star Trek land,
what are those furry things? That, like, there's like a picture. They're like a picture.
Things,
I'm picturing you half naked in like a bed of little furry orbs. You and Captain Kirk.
Took 8 of them to cover my dick. It was nuts.
And is it Sulu, the little Asian guy who drives?
Oh my!
Oh my! Yeah.
Yeah, dude. First on deck, dude. That's my point, boy. Oh my.
Meet me aboard, Dr. Professor.
I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, fuck. It's like, honestly, it's like the 80s felt great, you know? And if they're like, hey, everything you make, there's no more taxes really on anything else, just pay 6%.
I think the 80s was super inflated also.
Yeah, but if it was
weren't
just
home loans like 12%?
I was fucking 5 then. What do you want from me? But it seemed a little better. But taxes, I know, constantly go up. They're up more than they were then. House prices were better.
Remember the
then.
sunglasses that didn't have lenses? They just had like plastic slats. They're like, you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like
we should bring those back.
Whoa. The way the world's going, that's all we're going to be able to afford.
They came in 3 colors: neon pink, neon blue, and neon green.
Yeah. And you used them in a ski slope.
Yeah,
technically, that is like Arctic guy. That's Inuit sunglasses.
Oh, you're right. Yeah,
slits.
just the little slits. Yeah.
It's not my fault they come in neon. They look cool as shit, dude. Yeah. That's good eyewear. Yeah. I mean, skiing has gone through one of the most like radical shifts of fashion.
Hell yeah.
Like everyone wants to be like, oh, it's music. Look at hair bands, and they wore the tight spandex and like the flashy colors. And then it's like, okay.
Glenn Plake with his big ass mohawk throwing daffies and spread eagles off sweet jumps.
But then it's like you go through the history of all snowboarding or skiing stuff, and it's completely with fashion. You know, it's like, oh, there's military For your Vietnam dudes, there's the hot pink.
If you think about it, it's guys who like to ski getting paid to wear like a certain jacket.
Flashy
so yeah, so
stuff.
then you've got someone who's like a designer of coats in fucking California or Colorado or whatever. They're the ones really who, like, if they have enough money to buy the athlete, they're the one who sets the trend.
I lived through the snowboard boom, dude.
Did you?
Yeah. Many of my friends.
You know what? I experienced the snowboard boom, and I even made a switch because in like 2004 and 5, big fat powder skis didn't really exist. And so
it was parabolics at the time.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was all parabolics.
All winter, my toenails would be black and falling off because I'm just fighting to keep my tips out. Like Mount Baker's amazing. It would have so much fucking snow every morning.
Yeah.
And then it was like, I should just get one of these big fat powder snowboards. And so I rented one and tried it. And I was like, oh my God, I'm surfing a cloud right now.
Yeah.
And I went home and like bought a snowboard on eBay that night. And, but since then I'm back on skis the last couple of years because the ski industry like took the hint and started making the big fat fucking
boys.
powder boy. Yeah.
I can do both. I am a rare. Once again, Tobin, let me keep blowing your mind through life. I'm a unicorn. I can ski and snowboard. I thoroughly enjoy. But what?
I said same. I'm not.
I can do both well.
I would say I'm an advanced beginner on a snowboard and a really, really, really advanced skier.
I'll go advanced on both.
Okay.
Yeah. Maybe really advanced. Not too reallys, but really advanced on skis.
Okay.
Nice. Yeah. Grew up on them.
Yeah.
But then made the switch at 13. Started at like 4 or 5.
Yeah. Did
Just all the
you give your first blowjob like right before or right after?
It was on a double chair, so it's more intimate than like a high speed or
It's slower.
A gondola.
You get to
what are
enjoy
we,
the
a
ride
whore?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Everybody's gonna know the windows are gonna fog up.
Dude, but snowboarding took off, like Thrasher magazine.
Like 1999. We had my parents bought one of the original like GNU snowboards that had like the flat back with like a forked tail.
And
then just the one end. And it was sort of like an oddity. It was like it was for all the kids to sort of play around with up at the ski hill. Like you guys ski for a little bit. Hey, you want to take a turn on the snowboard? Like just try this thing out. We don't really know. Like fuck it, whatever. It seems,
dislocate a knee.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
Hop on, Timmy.
Yeah.
Those old ones were Burton though. Even Burton started with like crazy stuff like that. But so yeah, like I graduated in 2002 and like I grew up skiing and everything was about snowboarding on the weekends and night skiing and just, it was that lifestyle from skater to that. And tons of my friends ended up actually getting sponsored and riding for companies, but they would give you free shit all the time. That was part of the nice thing about getting sponsored.
That's what I'm saying. So they got to control the fashion sense of all the other kids by giving their sponsored few.
Shit.
Yeah.
Why'd I wear that naked baby jacket? I promoted Epstein lifestyle, dude. Yeah. But you would see things like certain years it would be like dual colors. Like, so the top half is red with the silver stripe and the bottom half is blue. And then you see like camo take over and stuff. And then you start seeing like, once again, like the 80s colors, like the bands, like cheetah print, neon, like pink and pastel blue.
Neon green ear warmer with a neon pink and blue jacket. Yep.
But snowboarding and skiing has gone through as many fashion changes. The only thing is, like, you watch those New York or Paris things, and it's like a person in a giant bubble. And it's like, if anyone needs a giant bubble, it's the guy, like, going to get trapped in an avalanche. Like, if anything, those guys should have been wearing bubbles for years.
You've seen the backpacks that have
that inflate. Yeah. They have them for snowmobilers and stuff.
Yeah.
I'm thinking about just getting one.
Just wearing it around.
Jiu-jitsu, you throw me on my back and I just fucking right back up to my feet. I don't think, not today.
Right as Greg takes your back. Suck on this.
Dude, I survived COVID.
Oh my God.
Well, that's that, dude.
I think that's that.
What are we at? I'll ask. This isn't one of those.
We're like an hour and 10 minutes. We're good. We can call it. It's a work night. Mike's got to get up early tomorrow. I've got to feed dogs. I mean, sometime before noon.
Your wolf dog?
Yeah. She's so cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's the best. Okay. So, guys, if you're enjoying the show, share it with friends and family. And then please go leave us a review on iTunes or Spotify or whatever service you're listening to it on. We're still struggling to get those reviews in. I think we should set a goal, Mike. We've got our 12 loyal listeners.
Yeah.
We should set a goal of like 500. Like I don't know how we
downloads. You mean?
500
How
downloads per episode.
How do they measure it? Like I follow this, but it's like I don't download it, but I listen. So there's tons of other people like me.
I have no idea.
I don't think any of us.
But I do know that the hosting service shows like 140 to. We're usually around 140 downloads per episode.
You know, I've said it before. We need to do a live pod.
Where?
Maybe the buzzing.
Oh shit!
Oh, dude.
Oh shit! Oh.
How about
terrible idea,
dude? What's the bar in Granite?
Oh god, the Spartry.
Yeah, let's do one at the Spart. Dude, you know we could sell it out.
No,
dude, for 2 hours, I guarantee you we could sell it out, and we'd get randos.
That would get retarded.
Oh, dude, we get wild randos.
Yeah.
But we could do it. That maybe, like I've said, let's sell out an auditorium. But
it would
that's
be cool to do it in
fucking
a
down the
theater.
road.
Yes.
We got to start. We got to think globally, but act locally. Okay. And sell out the Spartry, dude.
Oh my god. I don't know. All right. We will consider that idea. Good night, everybody.